want to call to order the meeting of the Floresville ISD Board of Trustees for the date of February 2nd, 2026 at 6:30. Let the record show there is a quorum of board members present. Myself, Stephen Shadrock, Dr. Martinez, Mr. Marshall Flitter, Mr. Jason Sabota, Dr. Odom, and Mr. Shellhouse. Furthermore, let the record show that this meeting has been duly posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. This is an open meeting, and we welcome members of the public to observe. Please note that public comment should be reserved for the public comment portion of the agenda. We kindly ask that no comments or questions be made outside of that time. Should you have any comments or questions, you're welcome to contact the administration directly, and thank you for your cooperation. Dr. Odom will lead us from prayer, followed by Mr. Flitter with the pledge.
Let's pray together. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity we have to gather together as a community tonight. We thank you, Lord, for Floresville, Father, for our district, and Father, for all those that work to make it work. Every day, Lord, they are diligently working. We thank you for our administration, for our staff, for our teachers, for our maintenance crew, for our technology crew, for our custodians, for our bus drivers. Lord, everyone who works in this district, Father, has a heart for the kids, and we're grateful for that. Lord, as the Bible says, we're to give praise to you, so with our breaths tonight, with everything that we have, we give you praise and we give you glory. For it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
I will now recite our FISD vision and mission statements. The FISD vision statement is character, knowledge, and competence. Our mission statement is FISD is committed to the development of innovative, lifelong learners who possess character traits to achieve personal and professional success.
FISD goals. The FISD goals are excellent student outcomes, superior workplace environment, exceptional customer service and community engagement, strategic resource management.
We will now do a round robin of the board recitation of the FISD core beliefs. Our FISD core beliefs are, in FISD, we believe all students feel safe and supported in developmentally and academically challenging environments.
Families are welcome partners in their children's education.
Faculty and staff are compassionate, dedicated, adaptable individuals who are student-centered.
Campus leadership is fair, equitable, and clearly communicates and engages with stakeholders.
Superintendent and central administration lead with integrity, transparency, and clear communication to provide a well-resourced educational environment.
Trustees provide student-centered and fiscally responsible leadership and transparent and ethical support of all stakeholders.
Families are welcome partners in their children's education. Dr. Martinez will now recite our overview of good governance and code of ethics.
Each month, we highlight one of our good governance indicators and code of ethics that the FISD Board of Trustees follow to promote the best interest of the district as a whole. This month, for the code of ethics, we are highlighting equity and attitude. I will be fair, just, and impartial in all my decisions and actions. I will accord others the respect I wish for myself. I will encourage expressions of different opinions and listen with an open mind to others' ideas. Our good governance indicator for this month is written board operating procedures are in place and are reviewed and adopted on an annual basis.
Thank you. We will now have the recognition for teacher and students of the month. Ms. Cruz, I'll pass it over to you, ma'am.
Well, I'll start by recognizing our students of the month first. And so first, I want to take some time to recognize Sofia Gutierrez. She is an exceptional student who consistently demonstrates responsibility, maturity, and strong commitment to learning. Her teachers describe her as being dependable, collaborative, and a student who takes initiative with confidence and persistence. She serves as a positive role model for her peers and exemplifies the values that we strive for at FNE. At home, Sofia is known for being respectful and caring nature. Although this is her first year in Floresville, she has adapted beautifully, building friendships and demonstrating maturity beyond her years, and her family is very proud of her. During the interview, I talked to Sofia, and she believes that she was selected because she's caring, responsible, and maintains strong grades. And so she dreams of either becoming a counselor, a teacher, or even a volleyball player, which is a goal that she's been working with her dad and practicing. Outside of school, she stays active in the Floresville Volleyball League and enjoys spending time reading. And so Sofia is a shining example of the hard work, character, and perseverance. And we're proud to recognize her as Student of the Month. I also have the privilege to introduce Noah Belcher as our Student of the Month. He is an outstanding student whose character, work ethic, and passion for learning make him an exceptional representative for FNE. His teachers describe him as being hardworking, consistently giving 100% effort in every subject, and as someone whose kindness shines through daily, whether he's collaborating in small groups or lending a helping hand to his classmates. Noah is a natural leader, actively participating in GT, patrols, choir, art club, engineering club, all while maintaining an A-level academic performance. His ability to balance such a full schedule and continued excellence speaks volumes about his dedication, time management, and genuine love for learning. His parents share that he is responsible, compassionate, and always willing to help others, and attributes that to have him as a friend to all and a role model on our campus. When I talked with Noah, he believes that he was selected because he's caring and willing to help anyone in need. He hopes to one day become an engineer, an archaeologist, or a writer. And his particular passion for writing would be fantasy stories, he says. His favorite subjects are science and reading because it just fuels his curiosity and imagination. And outside of school, he also participates in the Wilson County Soccer League and enjoys reading. And so Noah's leadership, kindness, and drive for excellence make him a remarkable student and inspiring example for his peers. And so we're proud to recognize him also as Student of the Month. And then our Teacher of the Month is Ms. Casey Holmeyer, our kindergarten teacher. She is an exceptional kinder teacher whose passion for teaching shines through daily. She builds her classroom with strong relationships, greeting students at the door each morning, checking how they're doing, and setting academic and behavior goals that help them reach their fullest potential. Her students feel that she truly cares for them, often sharing, "I love Ms. Holmeyer. She teaches me letters and numbers." Ms. Holmeyer's commitment extends beyond the classroom as she fosters positive partnerships with families through consistent communication, newsletters, and conferences. Her colleagues also describe her as a dependable team player who brings great ideas, supports her teammates, and is willing to help. She sets high standards for her students, and the academic growth seen in her classroom reflects her dedication and expertise. And so we're blessed to have Ms. Holmeyer on our campus, and we're grateful for the impact that she makes on our students each and every day.
Before we have the board give some recognitions, we'll let the Lions Club come up for a brief little presentation for our students and Teacher of the Month.
I'm going to present what our board This This is just a little thank you for all the hard work that the teachers have done. And it's a thank you and a line keychain and Whataburger. Thank you very much. Okay, where you go?
So on behalf of the board, just each and every one of you, I want to say congratulations. I'm very proud of you. Sophia, for your first year being here in Floresville, right? Usually it's hard for everybody to make that, to adapt to everything, but you've done it very well. I'm very proud of you. So keep striving, keep playing volleyball for your dad. It's fun. I know I do with my daughter, and it's memories that won't go away. So keep that up, and congratulations to you. And keep up the hard work. Noah, you like to read? Noah does too, so keep it up. These y'all are going places, you're going places fast, and I like it. You want to be an engineer, huh? What kind of engineer you want to be, you know? Just something you can read a lot, huh? Well, that's great. Miss Omar, if anybody's ever had their kid in Miss Omar's class, you know why she's standing up here. She's a very, very good teacher, so I want to say thank you for all you do for our kiddos, and it means a lot. My kiddos absolutely love to have you. They miss you. So, again, congratulations to you all, and good luck to you all in the future. Thank you.
There you go, John. Let me set it up. All right, hold on a second. Let the parents take a picture. Oh. Parents, come on up. Take a picture. Come on, Noah. Come on, bud. Stop. Yes, ma'am. All right, Lions Club, y'all come back in and take one more brief one. All right. Congratulations, man. Junior hand on your back.
Thank you, man. Congratulations. Good luck. Thank you, man. All right, we're gonna get into the rest of the board. If some of y'all do not want to stick around, now would be the time to leave. If you want to, but we're not making you. But we're gonna get into some other presentations. So please, if you want to attend, please do. Ms. Teacher, do we have any other comments? We'll now have our public hearing to discuss the 2024-2025 District Annual Report of Texas Academic Performance by Ms. Brooks. Ms. Brooks.
Good evening, President Shadrach, Dr. Gilstrap, Board of Trustees. Tonight, I will present the 2024-25 Annual Report as part of our required public hearing. And I also have Brenda Jones with us, our Federal Programs Coordinator and District Testing Coordinator, if you have any questions. The annual report is broken up into 8 sections, as listed on the slide. You have a digital one as well as a hard copy of the report. That is that giant spiral-bound book that was left as your yearly souvenir. Please note that there are different years of information being reported in each section as required. Most of the information is from the 24-25 school year, last school year. However, sections 2 and 6 are older school year data. 23-24 for section 2 and 22-23 graduates for section 6. The first section of the annual report consists of the Texas Academic Performance Report, or TAPER, which is compiled by TEA for every district and campus using teams and student assessment data. The release of the TAPER in December is the triggering event that requires this annual report or public hearing. The annual report also includes the district's financial standard report and the district's accreditation status, campus performance objectives, a report on violent or criminal incidents on campuses, as well as information on student performance in post-secondary institutions. Section 7 is also the progress toward adopted goals required by House Bill 3. And the final section of this report is a tapered walkthrough. Please note that almost all of the information I'm going to share here tonight as part of the annual report has been shared with the board previously. However, Texas Administrative Code 39.306 outlines the requirements to be included in an annual report, including the TAPER, which was just released the day before we got out for winter break. The cover page of the TAPER report contains the 2024 and 2025 accountability rating, FISD earned a C, the 2024-2025 special education determination status. There are 4 status levels: meets requirements, needs assistance, needs intervention, and needs substantial intervention. The district received its second status of needs assistance. We rolled over the plan from the previous year, maintain it locally, and continue working on identified areas for improvement. The TAPER report utilizes our assessment scores and other indicators to assign accountability ratings. STAR performance is reported for 2024 and 2025. It includes all 3 performance levels: approaches grade level or above, meets grade level or above, master's grade level or above. It is also reported for each assessment, all grades, all subjects, and all grades by subject. The major portion of the TAPER includes assessment data. Bridget Jones shared the assessment report with us in September. It included all students who tested with Floresville ISD. The information in the TAPER includes students who count for accountability purposes. They were students enrolled at the end of October and students who tested with FISD. So here is a very quick summary of the assessment data for all STAR tested subjects. Overall, when aggregated together, the district increased in all grades and subjects in all 3 performance levels. All reading language arts assessments increased or maintained in all 3 performance levels from 2024. This is for grades 3 through high school. All mathematics assessments increased in all 3 performance levels from 2024. This is again grades 3 through high school. All science assessments increased in all 3 performance levels from 2024. This includes grade 5, 8, and biology in the 9th grade. All social studies assessments increased in all 3 performance levels from 2024. This includes 8th grade and 11th grade U.S. history. This slide provides information from the TAPER on student participation on assessments. The difference you will see between tested and included in accountability is due to mobility from our students. Additionally, you will see attendance, graduation, and dropout rate comparisons since 2023 through 2024. Data for last year is not yet reported. Areas shaded green indicate an increase from last year. Areas shaded pink indicate a decline from the previous year. FISD had an increase in attendance to 92.9%. FISD had a small decrease in graduate rates from 0.5% to 89.8%. We are above the region by 1.2%. We also had a slight decrease of 0.7% in the 9 through 12 grade level dropout rate, which is down to 2.1%, very close to the region, which is at 2.4%. The next slide provides information from the TAPER on college, career, and military readiness, or CCMR. The reporting of this data is from 2 years ago, 2023-2024, not last year. The district has seen an increase from 25% to 86.6%. Students only have to meet one of over a dozen indicators to be counted as a CCMR graduate. And and I'll share a few details for the college, career, and military indicators. So specifically for our college-ready graduates, the percent of students identified as college-ready increased from 41.4% to 58.9%. We did see a small decrease in our dual credit percentage, but that also means that students are demonstrating college readiness through a variety of ways. The percentage of students identified as career and military ready significantly increased from 29.7% to 56.5%. This was primarily due to an increase in students receiving industry-based certifications. The high school has made a concerted effort over the last few years to make sure students are in courses and aligned with IBCs to ensure they are prepared for the workforce when they graduate. The next section of the TAPER report includes information pertaining to students, staff, and programs within the district. Student enrollment by grade level, ethnicity, and other student identification indicators are also included. Specific information such as graduation, retention rates, and class size is also listed in this section. Staff information, which includes data such as demographics, degrees, experience, salary, and turnover rate information, is also included. That's why the book is so thick. The final section of the TAPER contains programmatic information, including student and teacher participation by program. So overall, our enrollment did decrease from last year slightly to 4,062 students. Our populations of special education and bilingual students continue to increase, and our economically disadvantaged population did show a decrease of 6.9%. Of particular note is that our turnover rate for teachers is below the state average of 18.8%. You can see a detailed look at this information by following the link in your presentation or referring to your printed packet. Section 2 is the district's financial standard report. As you will recall, Lindsay Engel presented our first financial rating where the district received a B at the November board meeting and uses the 23-24 data. This report today also uses the 23-24 data. I've linked to the district and campus final financial data reports from 23-24 from TEA's website, which includes information such as fund balances, receipts, disbursements, and expenditures. This information was shared with the board during last year's audit and financial review, which was presented at the October board meeting, where the district had a clean audit. Section 3 pertains to accreditation status. TEA considers academic and financial accountability ratings, data integrity, and results-driven data in assigning this status. However, this year TEA has not yet released an accreditation status since the accountability system had been delayed, which we reported in August. Last year's rating of accredited is the most recent rating available. Section 4 of the annual report is campus performance objectives for the 24-25 school year. Each campus developed and implemented a campus improvement plan, or SIP, as required by TEA. Each SIP includes goals and performance objectives, which were approved by the board last September. Each campus periodically measures progress toward its performance goals. So just as I report progress on the district improvement plan strategies, campuses also review progress 3 times a year and then make a final progress check in June. Tonight I will summarize the final progress of these goals for last year. The first goal for each campus was excellent student outcomes. Each campus had objectives and strategies for this goal. While 11 of the 24 performance objectives were met, several performance objectives made significant progress, with 1 performance objective being exceeded. If the performance objectives were not met, they are carried over to the next year. They're most likely multi-year plans. Goal 2 for every campus was superior workplace environment. Each campus has had objectives and strategies to address this goal. That is specific when you look at the campus improvement plans. Of the 19 performance objectives, 9 were met and 1 exceeded. Again, although progress was made on all objectives, most strategies were continued into this year as well. Goal 3 for every campus was exceptional customer service and community engagement. Of the 18 performance objectives, 9 were met, with the remaining performance objectives continuing to this year. Goal 4 is strategic resource management. Of the 17 performance objectives, 10 were met and 1 exceeded. Again, the others carried to this year. Section 5 of the report on violent or criminal incidents is on the next slide. Each year, Texas Education Code requires each school district to publish, as part of its annual report, a report on violent and criminal incidents at each campus in the district, which is linked in your presentation and available in your spiral-bound book. Last year, there was one incident meeting this criteria, as reported to TEA. Section 6 pertains to student performance during their first year in a post-secondary institution. The most recent report is shown here and can be found following the link on the slide. Please note that this data is on our 2023 graduates who were enrolled in a Texas post-secondary institution during 2024. 69 students of the 98 who reported, or about 70% of the students who went, had a GPA of at least a 2.0 or higher. Again, this data is sometimes difficult to collect. As you can imagine, these are kids who graduated and moved on. Section 7 contains the status of progress toward our House Bill 3 goals. This report is at the meets level performance for Draper. We exceeded our 2025 goal for reading and increased 4 points from the previous year. We were 1 percentage point away from our goal in math, but we did maintain our percent of meets. As previously stated, our CCMR indicator increased to 87% for the 23-24 graduates. The final section of the annual report includes a glossary for the Draper report, which includes definitions, methodologies, and data points used in creating the report. This concludes FISD's annual district report. The report will be posted on our website. In addition, there will be paper copies available at our central office and all campuses. Are there any questions about the information presented in the annual report?
It's good information, a lot of information, but it's good to see that our scores are going up, both meeting, approaching, and mastery. It's good to see that. A lot of big uptick, especially in the college, which is great.
Yes, and the data that we're collecting currently shows the same uptick, actually even a little bit higher. So we are anticipating even more CCMR graduates this year. Are there any questions about the information presented, because this was also a public hearing?
Thank you, Ms. Burke. Thank you. We will now have the superintendent report by Dr. Draper.
Yes, board members, want to share some good news, continuing that about the college preparedness. This past semester in the fall, we had 306 students that were taking at least one dual credit class. Of those, they completed 544 courses, so that's over 1,500 college hours that our students were able to complete this past semester. That's with a 94% passing rate. So congratulations to those students, their families, and a big thank you to the high school administration and their team, the teachers, the counselors, for making it all possible. Don't forget that we do have a lot of these are freshmen that are involved in our early college high school that we just started for this year. So not only are they upper level students, but they're also freshmen. And also, don't forget, once again, this is at little to no cost to students. So our students benefited from over 1,500 college hours in one semester. So great job and kudos to them.
And it's all online.
No, not all of it. There are some face-to-face courses at the high school that are dual credit, but a majority of those are online.
Thanks, sir.
In January, the Finance Committee met with TASB as well as WRA. TASB provided the results of the staffing review completed during the fall semester. The review indicated that we are within the norms of staffing in all areas, including administration, compared to similar districts across the state. There were minor suggestions and changes that will be addressed through our budgeting process as we go into the next budget year and school year. The committee also met with WRA architects to discuss an agreement to provide long-range planning and facility planning services moving forward. More information on that will be coming soon as we begin that process once again. Don't forget, board members, Region 20 Board Summit will be held at Tapatia Springs in Bernie on February the 22nd from, that's a Sunday afternoon, from 2 to 5. For those of you that would like to have a ride, if you're going to need a ride, please let us know. We can meet up at the church, at the Oak Hills Church, and carpool from there. We can also carpool from town if we need to, but we'll need to leave in time to get there by 2 o'clock. So let myself or Alyssa know if you're gonna need a ride for that. Posting the board agenda so early now, we did have a few other things I wanted to add in. This past week, we've been working with a boiler over at the competition gym. It started going downhill about 2 months ago, so we started the process of collecting bids and really trying to limp that along to get it through the season. This past week, it finally went kaput. It's not holding water anymore, and so we did reach out. We had 4 bids, and so we are executing that and purchasing a new boiler. Install and everything was $98,800, and so we went ahead and pulled the trigger on that. It does exceed the limit, however, per board policy, if it's an emergency for student safety such as this, then it allows for an exception to that. So I want to make sure y'all were aware of that. Also, if you'll notice at your spot, if you have that, Dr. O, can you hold that up, the CTE gifts, one of which came from our welding class, looks like a business card holder there, and also some woodworking from our new construction science trade class that we have this year. So kudos to them. This is CTE month, and so they wanted to give you all some gifts in recognition of that. UIL this afternoon or this morning, we did release our new athletic districts. So for football, it's going to be Floresville. We'll be in Region 4, District 14, Floresville, Livonia, Medina Valley, Creekview, which is the new school in Medina Valley, Pleasanton, San Antonio Kennedy, Somerset, and Uvalde. So that's the football district. And then volleyball, basketball will be Region 4, District 29, Cuero, Floresville, Navarro, Gonzales, Livonia, and San Antonio Great Hearts, Northern Oaks. I'm guessing that's a charter school. That'd be correct. So that will be our new districts for the next 2 years, starting next school year. Also, Ms. Angle, where's she at? Ms. Angle was very excited today. We did receive word from the comptroller. They released the PVS, the property value study, and we are within norms. And so we have passed our property value study. I say we have. The Wilson County Appraisal District has passed that. So we have sidestepped that issue like we had a couple of years ago. So thanks to them and their hard work to get that done. Also below you'll find the enrollment and attendance numbers. Enrollment as of last Friday, or was it 2 Fridays ago whenever we printed this, was 3,871. Year-to-date attendance was at 93.65. That does include last Monday, which was the weather day. We did open. Our enrollment, our attendance was down, but we'll be looking at filing a waiver if we need to at the end of the year for that particular day. Any questions?
I think that boiler, that's something that we needed years ago. We needed to work on, so probably trying to string it along all the time.
We tried to limp it along a little bit more until we could get the bids together and get board action, and then finally just went and put it at the very end. And we've been pretty grateful. This past Friday, we had no heat in there, but the gym actually felt good. I actually asked and talked to some people, and they said, "Oh, it feels great in here." Little did they know we didn't have any heat in there. But this year, we're able to get a chiller unit out of our budget, and now we're going to be able to get a boiler out of the budget. So Mr. Gonzalez in maintenance is pretty excited about that, to get those 2 big projects. Obviously, we need to continue to build those into our budget if at all possible.
There's a lot of stuff that we've ignored for years.
Yes.
So slowly get it.
We will get it done.
Next on the agenda is item number 5, action items. First action item is a consent agenda by Dr. Gilstrap.
Yes, board members, consent agenda consists of the typical, but we do have 3 donations that we want to express gratitude for, as well as make sure the board approves moving forward. The Floresville ISD Education Foundation has donated $136,796.46. This is for the student or teacher grants that they awarded back in December. And so obviously thank you to them. That is a huge amount. That's the biggest amount they've ever donated to us. So grateful for them, their hard work, for our community, and their support for our teachers in the classroom. So kudos to them. Thank you very much. Andrew Wolf with Automatic Elevator. He's donating $2,000 for the Jaguar soccer team, as well as JR Site Work Incorporated. They've also donated another $2,000 for the Jaguar soccer program. So thank you to those donations. One other item on the consent agenda is just approval of a a JAG grant, which is a Justice Assistance Grant. This is a grant we apply for every year through our police department. We've been really beneficial. We've gotten a lot of things this year. We're gonna be writing a grant for a new vehicle. And so, hopefully we get approved for it, and typically it takes almost a year before they finally get it all funded. But hopefully we can get this grant successfully once again. So, board members, if there's not any questions, administration recommends the board approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Mr. Fleer and a second by Mr. Sabota. Any further discussion or questions on the motion? All in favor, show of hands. 6-0, passes 6-0. Thank you. Thank you. We will now consider the approval of parameters for the 2026-2027 FISD school calendar by Ms. Brooks.
Good evening again, President Shadrach, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Gilstrap. I'd like to provide an update on the 2026-27 calendar development. Last month, the board was provided data on key indicators being closely monitored to assess the impact of the new hybrid calendar. As a reminder, the district has experienced positive outcomes in recruitment and retention, including a 3% increase in staff retention and an 8% reduction in uncertified teachers. Additionally, a decrease in discipline referrals was also reported. Staff attendance has shown improvement, increasing approximately 3%, along with a modest increase in student attendance. As the district enters the spring semester, attendance will continue to be monitored as this period historically reflects seasonal declines. The district will not have a complete picture of attendance trends until the end of the school year. At this time, student performance data remains difficult to interpret due to adjustments in instructional schedules and changes to the assessment systems. These factors limit the ability to draw definitive conclusions regarding academic impact at this stage. An additional topic at the last board meeting also involved potential implications from grant eligibility. Specifically, certain LASSO grant programs through TEA, which was previously awarded to support the early college high school, now includes a requirement of a minimum of 165 instructional days. Last month, all staff members were invited to participate in the Floresville ISD Employee and Calendar Survey for the 25-26 school year. The purpose of the survey was to support the districts in identifying opportunities to better serve employees and strengthen the work they do in support of students. The survey received just under 300 responses with an appropriate representation from all departments and campuses. To provide insight and to guide calendar development, staff were asked to rate 7 statements using a 5-point Likert scale, with 1 indicating strongly disagree and 5 indicating strongly agree. Here's a summary of the results. The statement was, the current calendar supports student learning and academic progress. 86% agreed or strongly agreed. The current calendar has had a positive impact on my emotional well-being. 90% agreed or strongly agreed. The current calendar provides balance for my personal and professional routines and responsibilities. 91% agreed or strongly agreed. The current calendar has had a positive impact on my attendance. 87% agreed or strongly agreed. The current work calendar contributes to my decision to keep working at FISD. 85% agree or strongly agree. The current calendar provides sufficient time to complete all my job responsibilities. 89% agree or strongly agree. And overall, the current calendar has benefited me. 90% agree or strongly agree. So definitely a very clear pattern from staff. Last month, the district also invited parents and guardians to provide feedback on the impact of the current hybrid calendar. The survey was distributed through multiple communication channels, including email, text message, and social media. The district received approximately 625 responses. Parents and guardians were asked to provide feedback on 6 statements using the 5-point Likert scale, with 1 indicating strongly disagree and 5 indicating strongly agree. The following provides an overview of the results. For the statement, the current school calendar has had a positive impact on my students' well-being. 81% of the respondents indicated agree or strongly agree, with strongly agree representing the largest response category as reflected in the blue portion of the graph. 68%. The current school calendar is supporting my students' learning learning and academic progress. 79% agree or strongly agree, again with the majority coming from the strongly agreed category, or what you see in blue. The current school calendar fits well with our family's routines and responsibilities. 81% agree or strongly agree. Again, the blue indicates strongly agree. My student is able to keep up with school routines and assignments under the current calendar. 85% agree or strongly agree. The blue with strongly agree is the majority. The district has provided supports that help our family manage calendar changes. 71% agree or strongly agree. Still, the majority comes from the strongly agree with 66%. Overall, the current calendar has benefited my child. 82% agreed or strongly agreed, with about 69% as a strongly agreed. Of approximately 625 survey responses received, the district also collected 350 written comments. A review of these comments revealed several recurring themes. 1, parent feedback shows a strong support for 4-day school weeks, with many families reporting improvements in student well-being, attendance, and family scheduling. 2, while many families indicated satisfaction with the current calendar, there was also some frustration with a hybrid model that alternates between 4 and 5-day weeks. 3, a smaller group of parents, about 9% of the comments, raised some kind of concern related to either childcare, instructional time, funding, and impacts on younger students, or specific programs such as CTE, special education, athletics, and fine arts. On January 20th, the district also met with the District Educational Improvement Committee, or the DEIC, as part of the calendar development process. Committee members, which include staff, parents, and business representatives from the local community, reviewed and provided feedback on several sample calendar options. Feedback reflected a range of perspectives, so the following are just representative comments shared during the discussion. I prefer not to start earlier and cut into summer. I don't like the longer day. I feel this would be tough for elementary kids and me. I do like the early release dates. I'm interested to see academic reports. 4 days is fabulous. Not sure if it's good for my kiddos' retention. I like the calendars that had more days off for teachers. Interesting process, several options I like, something that is similar to our current years. So just as a reminder, this is our estimated timeline of calendar development and approval. So last month we did have our staff and parent surveys. We did have student input actually in December and January through some of the student groups that we do. The DEIC provided input, and we continue to review data and attendance and student performance. And so we're now in February, where we are going to discuss potential parameter development, create draft calendars based upon the input and requirements. The calendar committee would then select some of their top choices, and the staff would vote on the top choice. Administration hopes to bring a calendar for approval to the board in March. And so we are right here. So at this time, the board is requested to provide guidance regarding the number of instructional days, the number of instructional minutes per day, and the latest acceptable end date for the school year.
Can you repeat what you said about the 165 days?
Yes, sorry, my animations didn't pop up at the right time. But yes, so we have seen a trend with some of the grant applications where last year we saw a trend where they would ask, are you a 4-day, a hybrid, or a 5-day calendar? TEA honestly has not done a great job in defining what each of those are. And so now we have seen that question change to, do you have at least 165 school days? So it's not on all grants. You hear us applying for other grants, but particularly the grant that funded our ECHS, our early college, that grant would require it in the future. It's not affecting us now, but that is something that could potentially affect us if we were to apply for another grant or a similar grant.
And currently we have 164 days.
164, yes.
Current. Board members, in the packet, there's a little chart there with some different examples, kind of giving a traditional, what minutes would be, what instructional days would be like, staff days as well, and then a more of a straight 4-day, and then something similar to what we have now, or what they call a hybrid model. Again, more and more districts, or TEA is really pushing number of days. They're getting away, because I hear people talk about, oh, we would never do what y'all do, ever. Oh, really? How many school days do y'all go? Well, we go 170, or we go 168. You go 4 more days than we do, but yet you say we would never do what we do, so it's just a matter of how it's structured. The board members, we encourage y'all to ask questions, discuss, comments, feedback, so that we can try to move forward with our calendar committee.
I know we have a lot of positive on this, and from the staff to the parents, but there's like the 9% that still are if and when in the daycare and the kids are falling behind the little ones' times, so I don't believe those behind. I don't know how we're still gonna work on that anymore, or what we're seeing right now, if those kids are actually doing better or not. I mean, we're still in this first year of swapping over, moving over to the end, yet we have to get something on board for next year, so we're in a tight spot, but I'm just, not that we gotta go look for it, but I wanna find out, I won't be in my mind, so.
Yeah, there was that one slide that was 71%.
Yeah.
Was the last one. So, yeah, how does the school district, adjust and interact with the family? So, that's a big concern. So. But when we went to our 164-day calendar last year, we really didn't lengthen the day. Did we at the elementary?
At elementary, the day lengthened by 10.
10 minutes?
And then actually at secondary, it decreased because we were going away from the 5 by 5. So about, I think, 10 or 15 minutes at middle school and high school actually decreased. And so we're currently at 470 minutes a day with 164 school days.
And no half days.
And no half days, right? Right.
The day increased by how many minutes again?
At elementary, 10 minutes.
10 minutes. And if we did a full 4-day, their day would increase by another, what, 30 minutes?
30, pretty much, yeah. So most 4-day calendars are right at that 500 minute, about 30 more minutes on to, well, it'd be 30 minutes on to everybody, because everybody's at 470.
And that's trying to keep their summer.
Not starting too early.
Yeah, not-
Yes.
And not going into June. So you're right. So we could do a 4-day. Question is, how long do you want the school year to be?
Yeah.
Yes, this is true. Yes, we could start the last week of July, maybe, and not have to go 500 minutes, but it could be more days, fewer minutes a day.
Because summer now is how many weeks? 10?
Typically, well, for students, it's all of June, July, and 1 week in August. So they typically, we start school somewhere in that second. That's what we've done for the past number of years, even prior to having this calendar. We started on Wednesday, that second week in August. Teachers typically start a week before that, so teachers typically get all of June and July.
And this year we are getting out before Memorial Day,
Well, this year we're getting out after.
I'm sorry.
This calendar.
Next year, Memorial Day is a little bit later, a little easier.
So how many full 5-day weeks did we have last year?
I didn't bring my calendar.
So what do we have this year? I know we went from like 16 to 24.
I didn't bring a calendar to be able to count them, but I do, that was similar to that.
It wasn't too many days.
Correct. It was a total, we went from 169 down to 164. So we dropped the count, we dropped 5 instructional days and added 10 minutes per day.
But we just moved some of the days we observed around a little bit to get either a 4-day week or a 5-day week at certain points.
I'm concerned about the funding, of course, that's a big thing, right? I mean, the funding that we get, and you just said 165 days, so kind of, we're not to that point yet, but they're looking at perhaps doing that as far as grants and, things that we would need. That would be a concern too.
I know we've got surveys from the staff, we've got surveys from the families. I mean, if we polled an elementary kid and polled a high school kid, what would they say?
So we actually talked to some high school kids. I haven't sat down and tried to get feedback from elementary.
Okay. Well, we had one at the Halloween bash at
They thought it was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Take the school board specifically. Right on cue, by the way. But no, in talking to high school students, they enjoyed the break. Remember, we first started the year, I first had my meeting with them, we hadn't gotten to that part of the year, the semester. And so they were looking forward to it. Whenever I had my second meeting in December, I asked them how it's going. They said they enjoyed the time off. They're still trying to adjust, and they also felt like the teachers were a little rushed because they weren't used to it. Some of them in extracurriculars, they said, well, we have games on Fridays and things like that, and of course somebody else said, well, you'd have practice on Mondays if you had Mondays off. I mean, either way. So look, the kids have enjoyed the time, whenever I talk to them.
I think it would be harder for the smaller age groups to adjust to go 4 days and have to go back to 5 days.
And I will say this, the calendar we had prior to this one, every month we had 2 4-day weeks. So we were already doing it. In fact, it was more sporadic, and now having it chunked, structured, in these bigger chunks.
Well, we have,
Yeah, prior to that.
we had quite a few,
Correct.
and now we just have a few more, so we call it a full hybrid. We call it
That's because of the way we adjusted those days.
24 or something out of the 36.
And that's why TEA is having difficulty defining what a hybrid
What is
is. There are actually 163 calendars that are not considered a hybrid just because of where they put their days off. So,
What's the definition?
what is the definition of a hybrid? Yes.
Yeah, a lot of the feedback I got from staff and parents and even some of the kids, they wish they could have just stuck with the straight 5 days and then went to 4 instead of the back and forth. And pretty much the staff and students and the parents, I heard a lot of the same thing. And I don't know how that would work when y'all plan that out, but the consistency of straight 5 until that goes and then go to the 4 is all. If it equaled out the amount of days, your first semester was straight 5s and then the second one was straight 4s, it was just the consistency from the parents and the staff that they want. The back and forth, they like the schedule, but they can have it consistent, and it makes it a lot easier for them to plan their year.
Well, we've heard all the feel-good stuff, now what we need is the hard data, the testing.
Yeah. Yes, sir. And we just don't have those results yet to be able to make that decision.
And nobody won't get that till
June.
Yeah.
That would be the final data. The
Yeah.
earliest we could try to make predictions would be like mid-March, to be honest. So the assessment systems changed for the first semester. Obviously, high school's going through some big changes coming off the 5x5. So those students weren't testing EOC in December like they were in the previous year. So again, the data is just not comparable. We certainly have data with how students are performing, but not in that context compared to last year until about mid-March. But yes, I did see, on the staff survey in the comments, that was a suggestion, was going 5 days, for example, in the fall, and then the 4 days in the spring. I did see, it's an anonymous survey, but it does kind of sort of between elementary and secondary. That did seem to pop up at secondary, a little bit, and so those are things we can certainly take to the calendar committee. As I always tell the calendar committee, we can do anything we want to do, we can't do everything we want to do. So a lot of the feedback we get is really very varied, and so it's hard to make sure that we're taking everyone's into consideration with their specific needs. So,
I do know one thing that there's the perks that set up in high school is we only have a few now, we have semester-long courses. Well, if I take this course in the fall, I'm gonna have X number of instructional days. But now if I take it in the spring, I'm only gonna have this many instructional days. And it's only a semester course, like a government, economics, some of those things that are just semester courses. So those teachers would have to adjust how they teach. Because once you start the 4 day, you don't add minutes. In other words,
Yeah, and the staff was from all campuses.
yes.
So,
It's elementary, they don't have semester.
yeah, all campuses I heard. Well, I guess there was a struggle coming back when they got used to that.
Yeah, that's also, something we heard about.
Yeah.
But, I think we have 5 Fridays left until the next break, and so, I've heard some staff say they're looking forward to it. Any other discussion, or? So one thing that we do have it posted, for the board to consider parameters, and we can make that recommendation. That way it'll give our calendar committee some direction going forward, some parameters to really build a detailed calendar to bring back to the board for approval next month. But those parameters that the board would set would kind of dictate, it's gonna be this type of calendar, but we don't know all the details yet. For example, they may come back and say, yeah, we'll do semesters. Or they may come back, this year we didn't have MLK off, but next year they may say, hey, that was important, we need to put that back in the calendar. I do know that in there. Also, the consideration of half days. Early release days, we do have the requirement for parent-teacher conferences now by statute, and so those half-days are a potential opportunity to schedule those one per semester. So that's something else we look at as well.
So we're currently using some of our professional development days to allow teachers kind of time at work to make sure that they're holding those conferences. But a half day could be another option that does add days to the calendar without even necessarily adding more minutes per day. That's an option.
So if there's no other questions, we do have a recommendation. Brooks?
Administration recommends that the board approve the development of the 26-27 calendar with 165 student days, not to exceed 470 daily minutes, and the latest end date for students on or before May 27th as presented.
Real quick before we, do that, so that means that a 4-day calendar is taken off the table,
Yes.
right?
These parameters would establish 165 student days.
And having a hybrid role or just a specific style of hybrid is also off the table,
Oh, no.
right? Isn't that just kind of, even though wrong?
You're saying a parameter of 165 student days. How those days are gonna be divided up would be a detail that the calendar can make.
Yeah, the straight 4 day, you would eat into either end of the summer, either beginning or end.
If you would, the days for a straight 4 day would have to drop down to about 153 typically. School days. But each day would be 500 minutes long.
Kind of setting these parameters to mirror the school year we're in.
Yeah, it mirrors rather than one additional day.
Well, also to meet what we see on these applications, as well, adding that extra day, that one extra day, so that we're in that 165.
Because they just ask how many instructional days you have. They don't ask how many are early release, how many are full days.
How many minutes?
Regular answer.
I'm just gonna be clear about that.
Mr. President, I move to accept the administration's recommendation.
I'd like to second that, Mr. President.
We have a motion by Mr. Sabota and a second by Dr. Odom. Any further discussion or questions on the motion?
I didn't follow what you were talking.
So we have a motion by Mr. Sabota and a second by Dr. Odom to accept the recommendation, which is, the calendar committee would look at no more than 165 days and no longer than 470 minutes in a day, and school to end by May 27th at the latest, which is similar to what we have now. So that's the motion on the table. It's been motioned by Mr. Sabota and second by Dr. Odom. Any further discussion or questions? Show of hands in favor? We have 6 to 0. Thank you.
Board members?
Next, we will consider the approval of the addition of the 2025-2026 T-test appraiser list by Ms. Thomas.
Good evening, Board President Shadrach and Dr. Gilstrap and Board of Trustees. So I came to you in August to approve our T-test appraiser list. But there's been some personnel adjustments at the high school, so there is a need to update the list of certified T-test appraisers. Attached is a list of updated recommended T-test appraisers for the 25-26 school year. In addition, according to DNA Local, the board must approve alternate appraisers, and it is the recommendation of the administration that the updated list be approved as presented. As you'll see in yellow, the only addition, the only change to that T-test appraiser list that y'all approved in August is the addition of Ms. Cindy Galvez, who is the acting interim assistant principal currently at the high school.
And she's completed her T-test.
She is a certified administrator as well as a certified T-test appraiser. Are there any questions on the T-test appraiser list? So administration recommends the board approve the 2025-2026 updated list of T-test appraisers as presented.
I move to accept the administration's recommendation.
We have a motion by Dr. Martinez, and a second by Mr. Flair. Any further discussions or questions on the motion that's been made? Show of hands in favor?
I don't know what you're doing.
So we're adding an appraiser to the approved appraisal list for teachers. We had some changes in our administration at the high school this semester, and we now have an interim assistant principal. She's completed her certification to be a T-test appraiser. We just need the board to approve her to add to the list. And T-test,
Kind of appraiser.
a T-test is how we appraise all of our teachers. They do observations, have summatives, with all the teachers. It's how we evaluate staff.
All right, got it.
So it's a personal evaluation of how you're doing your job. They have to follow criteria and they have to be certified. So there's a list of these people at each campus, and we're just adding this.
It's all the administrators of each campus, and they have to go through a specific training along with their administration certification to evaluate teachers and other personnel.
Okay. So we still have the motion before by Dr. Martinez and the second by Mr. Flair. All in favor, show of hands. We have 6-0. Thank you. We will now consider the approval of the waiver regarding teacher certifications. Again by Ms. Thomas.
Okay, so with House Bill 2 came some information on teacher certification. So new limits on school districts' ability to waive teacher certification, requirements for foundational core curriculum, so that's reading, math, science, and social studies. These that came down from House Bill 2, and those affected our district of innovation plans. So basically, some language is in House Bill 2 now, that we can no longer exempt ourselves like we were from some of the teacher certification laws that, because of House Bill 2. So the state has developed a 3-year plan where districts can no longer, so next year in 26, 27, teachers can no longer include K through 5 teachers with reading and math. We cannot exempt ourselves using the DOI exclusions. So that's basically every single one of our elementary teachers. And in 27, 28, the next year, that will also apply to our secondary teachers. So it's a 3-year phase out where they're saying that districts can no longer use the DOI exemption around teacher certification. So the plan is by the 2029-2030 school year that every single teacher has to be certified if they are teaching a foundational course, which is your math, science, social studies, and English language arts.
And that's across the state.
This is across the state. So they have allowed an exemption if you submit this waiver, and you have to create a transition plan, which this is our transition plan, citing how the district is, how it has a plan over 3 years to make sure that all teachers in those foundational courses are certified. So the impact in Floresville ISD, so for this next year, 2026, 2027, currently we have 16 K through 5 teachers that are not fully certified in the elementary area. 2 are certified in secondary. So out of those remaining 14, they are all degreed. They're all currently in alternative certification plans, but they have not completed those plans. Those could be for, they might not have their certification test, or they might just not complete it in the program. The program has classes and online, things that they have to complete. But, so those 14 teachers would not be allowed to teach at Floresville ISD next year. So of course, we've talked to some of our principals, and some of these teachers are very impactful in a positive way in the classroom. So denial of this extension would result, of course, in loss
of teachers, and create additional staffing challenges. So when we look at the years 2028 through 2030, so the second and third year of this 3-year plan, currently 15 of our secondary teachers are not fully certified. Out of those 15, 4 are certified in different areas. So out of those remaining 11, all 11 are degreed, all have at least a bachelor's degree or higher, and they are all currently enrolled in an alternative certification plan. So what must be included in this TEA application? We have to disclose and notify the total number of uncertified teachers assigned to teach the foundational curriculum courses, which next year, including secondary and elementary, is a total of 31. We have to identify at least one EPP, which is an educational preparation program partner, who's going to support us in reducing that number of uncertified teachers. And we have to do several other things like post this plan to our website, and then post the link and apply for the waiver with TEA. So what are we doing? What are we doing and what have we been doing for the past year and a half to try to get that number of uncertified teachers down in all of our campuses, in all of the areas? So we review the certification requirements with those teachers. We call them our DOI teachers because they fall under the District of Innovation. We review those teachers monthly. We send them out a form. They have to send us back their status. And in that form, it includes all the laws and the requirements to be a certified teacher. And it also notifies the teachers that they could possibly not have a job. They are at-will employees. They are not contracted. If they do not complete their certification. We've given them information on the alternative certification plans, and we also give a monthly report to the principals on their campuses and how many teachers they have still in need of certification. Our EPP partners, we've had several meetings and discussions with Region 20, who has the top program. It's an alternative certification program where they would, if any teacher wanted to participate in this program, it's a traditional alternative certification, an in-phase program where they attend classes and then have a mentor teacher during their mentor year. Most of our teachers that are all of those 31 teachers are in some type of certification plan, alternative certification plan, and most of them are with the Texas Teachers of Tomorrow and Teach Worthy. And so those are also our listed EPP partners, which is a requirement to submit this waiver. Are there any questions?
So that's very encouraging of those that are not certified, those that are making an active effort to get that certification, which is good. But, and obviously they're aware that because without that, potentially their job is not secure.
Yes, sir. About 2 years ago, we were about at 55, close to 60. And so we really worked hard. We did not hire any uncertified teachers for the 25-26 school year. These 31 teachers are all teachers who, most of them have been with us for at least 3 years. And in those 3 years, maybe year 1 and year 2, they could have been working on their certification, but we have really turned up the pressure, you could say.
They understand the urgency.
They understand the urgency monthly, all the time, of the need for them to be fully certified.
We also have a few that are, we've had some that were just recently got certified at the end of.
I just got an email over the weekend, and so that elementary number might drop 1. It dropped by 2 in the past week. And so I think this time of the year is the time that, you know, they're finishing up their modules, is what they're called, and taking those certification tests. So I hope May, by the end of May, that the number increases again. And of course, before the beginning of the school year, that it would once again just keep on decreasing. This is more like applying for this waiver. To me, it's more like an insurance plan. We don't want to use it. Our goal is for 100% of our teachers to be fully certified, and we do not want to hire any more uncertified teachers. But there could be a circumstance that, that we need to hire one of those back, one of those uncertified teachers back.
These teachers know that, there is no letter of assurance at the end of the semester, at the end of the year, and we intend to post the positions and go out and recruit certified staff. However, if we are unable to secure certified staff, these individuals, we could hire back under this waiver. If the waiver does not apply to new hires after this school year, so this would only be eligible for the ones that we have right now.
And you have till 2029 to get it done, or they're done
Or
regardless?
they're-
At the secondary level only, right?
No, it's all of them. But this waiver would apply for all of them.
For the foundational.
Correct.
But that's only if we have to hold on to them.
Correct, this, we would only use this if
You
we
don't
can't
route.
fill that position with certified staff. And then if we can't go get somebody else, we would have to get that person back. Now, there is one caveat, there is an exception, CTE teachers, those are separate, just because of what they teach, the content mastery, level expertise that they have for what they teach.
That's what was worrying me about what you were saying. Basically, this is a safety net. We don't wanna use it, but if
We
we
are not.
need to, we can, but we're still gonna put the pressure on to get started.
Correct. This is more of an insurance plan that we hope that if we have to use it, we use it very, very sparingly.
So we have a great teacher who's been here 3 years, doing great with the students, and they just need that extra time to get it
A little
complete.
extra time for study practice for that certification exam. Any other questions?
Oh, I'm sorry. How many attempts, do they have, for the test? Like if they don't pass it, how many opportunities do they have, till?
So now they have 5, and on that 5th attempt, then they have to go back to their certifying, entity, like their university partner or their alternative certification, and request special permission to take it the 6th time. And then if they need more time after that, they have to submit like a study plan, like how are they gonna pass this test, to the state before the state will let them take it again. And that just got implemented maybe like a couple of years ago, because there were people out there that had taken it 3rd times. So the state did crack down a couple of years ago, so 5 attempts before you have to seek, additional ways to be able to do that test. $100 a test, so, you know.
But it happens.
Yeah. Especially with the elementary test, because it's 4 smaller tests, so you may pass 3 and you struggle with one aspect.
Now,
of
they've
that.
added that all the teachers have to take that, the SDR, the science of teaching reading, and so instead of just 2 tests that we've all had to take for 20 years, now it's 3 tests standard. Are there any other questions? Not, administration recommends the board approve the application to the TEA for the delay of teacher certification under House Bill 2 and the teacher certification plan as presented.
I move to accept the administration's recommendation.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Dr. Martinez and second by Mr. Sabota. Any further discussions or questions regarding the motion? Show of hands in favor. We have 6 to 0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next. We will consider the approval of the resolution to address Senate Bill 11 by Dr. Gilstrap.
Yes, board members, SB 11 from the 89th legislative session requires each school district board of trustees to hold a record vote regarding a resolution to develop a policy to establish a daily period of time for students and staff to pray and read the Bible or other religious texts. Currently, policy BGA local and FNA legal both provide students and staff the right to pray or read religious text at any point in time, as long as it does not interfere with instructional time or campus operations. The district also holds a daily moment of silence each day, which is required by law during the announcements. We also have a robust and active Fellowship of Christian Athletes organization that is open to all students. I know they have multiple activities throughout the year, including services at the stadium, as well as meeting at the pole activities, and again, those are open to all students. So there are also concerns regarding instructional minutes and instructional time, because they have not released what the definition of a period of time would be. So if the resolution is approved, we will have to go back and make adjustments to DGA local and FNA legal, or excuse me, local. Will have to be updated in the future, but at this time, the administration would recommend to the board to not approve the resolution as presented.
I move to accept the administration's recommendation.
And I second that recommendation.
So we have a motion by Dr. Martinez and a second by Dr. Odom. The recommendation is not to approve the resolution. Not to approve the resolution. All in favor, show of hands. 6-0.
Board members,
We will now consider approval of resolution of the board regarding administrative information by myself. So board, what I've got on the agenda is I would like to make the recommendation that we nominate Dr. Gilstrap to the Texas Association of School Boards for Superintendent. It's a nomination. It'll be sent through a process to be reviewed, so just the recommendation doesn't mean he obtained that title. Well, we wish and we would support you in that, but this is the board's recommendation to submit that and complete the necessary paperwork and documentation that we submitted to TA, that we're recommending Dr. Gilstrap. A lot of it's been his time, his leadership, my time on the board, a lot of things that we've seen and done. We talked about today, we got the good news from Lindsay that our property taxes are in that. I remember a couple of years ago, we were sweating, we were gonna be $1 million in the hole. And through, your coordination with our attorney, took a little while, but it cost us a thing, but we were back in the good graces. There's been a lot of things from us talking about this hybrid calendar to your contacts with other school superintendents, how many, good discounted buses we got. I mean, that's just an illustration of your collaboration of your peers in the money that say the school district. I mean, there's a long list of things you've done for the school district, and we would like to recommend you for that opportunity. So, any further questions or discussions of the recommendation?
I think you've led this district to a good area where we need some change over the years, and we're seeing that, so I thank you for that. So, we're very strong for this, hoping to get this nomination.
Yes, yes, and it's way past time that you do it. You've led our district in every way, and excellence in everything that you've done. Your communication skills are outstanding. We know what's going on all the time, and we appreciate you. We appreciate you.
It would go, whether it was, it depends on who you ask. Last Monday when we had school, I think it was an illustration of your leadership, making sure the schools were ready.
Yes.
Buses ran.
Sure.
The classrooms were warm. Anyway, that's my recommendation. I need a motion to second.
Your recommendation.
And I second that.
Okay.
Mr. President.
So I have a motion by Mr. Sabota, and a second by Dr. Oden. Any further discussions or questions of the motion? Show of hands. In favor, 6-0. Thank you.
board members, thank you for your support. Y'all make it an easy job, being superintendent, working with a great team today. Thank you for this nomination. It's a tough process, but I appreciate the opportunity to potentially move forward in the process, so thank you.
Thank you, sir. Lastly, we'll consider the approval of contract personnel by Dr. Gilstrap.
Yes, board members, we do have some contract recommendations. We've had some positions open since Christmas and that break, so we do have 2 teachers we want to recommend. There were 3 on the list, however, we are down to 2 recommendations we want to make. So Board members, we are recommending, administration recommends the board approve probationary contracts for Morgan Friesenhahn and Julie Wilson. Ms. Friesenhahn will be at South Elementary, and Ms. Wilson at the Early Childhood Center. These will be only for the remainder of this school year. Okay.
Do we have a motion?
I made a recommendation on that.
Go ahead.
I move to accept the administration's recommendation.
Got a motion by Dr. Martinez and a second by Mr. Fleer. Any further discussions or questions about the motion? Show of hands in favor? 6-0. Thank you. The board will now convene into executive session pursuant to the Texas Governmental Code 551.074 personnel. No voting will take place in closed session. Any action the board wishes to take as a result of the discussion in closed session will take place after the board reconvenes in open session. We will go into closed session.